We just saw Wicked for Good, and we have some thoughts about the new songs. We wanted to talk about whether we thought the songs helped or halted the movie. RZ, let's talk about No Place Like Home.
Okay.
Which is an alphabet song. It's towards the beginning of the movie. And it takes place on the Yellow Brick Road where the animals are leaving Oz, which I think is a very important thing that doesn't get as much attention in the musical because they only have limited time. But the animal plot is kind of dropped.
It's sort of like it's a general thing, but it's not getting specificity that it has in the movie, which I guess it had to because of how long it is. But
I think it helps show like why Alphaba is still fighting for Oz, even though all of Oz has hated her now or been scared of her before.
The thing is, but my thoughts on the new songs are kind of works for both of them. I understand why this is the moment they chose to put a song in. I can't say that I like either of them.
Okay.
My one problem, if I can, I loved Wicked for Good. Let me just say that outright. But I think the one hurdle it had to clear was a pacing thing because the first movie starts at the beginning and it sort of goes through that story arc and it does end on a climax, but it has built to that in a very natural way. But the problem that you have with a movie like this is it starts at the climax and then it has to have a 3-act structure. So I think that hinders the pacing a bit. And I think with musicals, songs are placed where they are because those are the emotional buildup points. So I think you've put in 2 more emotional buildup points where there maybe isn't room for it.
That's so very true.
The scenes are important. And also the other songs have such a distinctive cohesiveness to them. This kind of really stood out as being new.
I will say that I feel that way more about The Girl in the Bubble than I do No Place Like Home. I feel like No Place at Home, it flows a little bit better with the movie and doesn't quite halt it like A Girl in the Bubble, because The Girl in the Bubble is at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
We could have not had a song with the scene with the animals and Elphaba seeing her nanny bear and the monkeys finding out the truth.
It's interesting you say that, though, because I think if I had to pick one to keep, I would keep A Girl in the Bubble. Not because I think the song stands out, but I just think because you know that thing of when the emotion is too much to speak, you sing. I think that matches Girl with a Bubble better because she's alone, she's been abandoned by everybody, and it's too much, so she breaks into song. But the other one is just her kind of this is gonna sound so bad, but that song in Wish when they're in the dungeon?
Yeah.
Not lyrically, but story purpose wise, that's what it reminded me of.
Girl in the Bubble, I think I felt was too long.
Sure, yeah. I don't mean the content was better. I just mean the placement was better. If you had to keep one song as a concept, I think that one worked better, but I would have rather they had neither.
I think the one good thing for me with Girl in the Bubble was that it helped support what Glinda was doing. I felt like Glinda was worse in the movie versus the musical. But this might just be because I am older, much older than I was when I saw Wicked the musical. I am much more politically minded. I know my morals and ethics are much more clear in my mind. And I don't really succumb to peer pressure like I used to. So I couldn't relate to Glinda as much. And also just that it being longer and so much more visuals of seeing what Oz is doing and all of Oz talking about her best friend like that. I'm I could not let that stand,
But keep in mind, Glinda is supposed to be, both of them are supposed to be very young. They're supposed to be just out of college.
Are they?
Well, because Shiz is a university.
Yeah,
not that Elphaba graduated, mind you.
Yeah.
Not that any of them graduated, but if they were there for a year or two, I feel like they're only supposed to be in their mid-20s at the latest.
Yeah, I think it's just hard because everyone in the main cast is in their 30s.
Yeah, I think it's tricky because I think we the way we saw Glinda then as somebody who was just kind of backed into her bad decisions versus the way we see Glinda now in a world where people have access to enough information to be more politically minded and to be more politically aware, it's harder to understand. It's harder to understand her falling into this. And to the movie's credit, they do give her this moment where she and Fiero are having a conversation, and she's like, well, I care about like finding Elphaba too and saving her too. And he's like, no, you like the attention. And she's like, yeah, I like the attention. Like she has to really come to, she's not a victim of poor influence. Like she is making these choices. So I think it's a really strong arc that she has made choices. She's just made bad choices.
Yeah. And Girl in the Bubble makes her recognize.
Yeah.
It shows that she's recognizing her errors.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hand in hand with No Good Deed also. Mm-hmm. With Elphaba being like, did I do all this for good or for attention? Kind of thing. Yeah. Both of them being like unsure of, even if they had the best intentions in their mind, were they truly good?
Yeah, and I think the good thing about, because we've talked about Girl in the Bubble a lot, I think the good thing about There's No Place Like Home, what I like about it is it's such a idealistic song. Yeah. Which makes it such a good contrast to No Good Deed, where like she starts the movie in this place, gives her an arc too. She starts a movie in a place where like you're doing the right thing because it's the right thing, because you have your principles and your morals and all of that. And then when every conceivable thing is working against you, then it like she's a breakdown of ideals by the end, and she like doesn't feel the strength of her conviction anymore. So yeah.
I think they're good songs, but yeah, the pacing felt a little bit off with both of them. But maybe that's because we're more familiar with
it. Could be
the musical. So I'd be intrigued to hear people who have just seen the movies what they think about the song. Do they feel out of place? Because sometimes when they do write those extra songs, like I'm going to bring up Cats with Beautiful Ghost, it feels so obviously like an add in because it just feels off. It feels like it doesn't belong with the rest of it.
Also, my condolences to Stephen Schwartz and the songwriting team putting 2 songs in this, thinking they've got 2 shots at the Best Original Song Oscar in the year where K-pop Demon Hunters came out. Like, I'm so sorry. You do not have this in the bag.
Also, I'm wondering if putting 2 songs might hurt its chances.
Could be.
Because that happens occasionally.
It probably did. Well, because back in the day, they used to nominate like several Disney songs or like several songs in the same production. But they don't have a chance. Not this year.
Yeah. It's going to be, Oscar season's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited already.
If one of the 2 got nominated, which one do you think it would be?
I think it would be Girl in a Bubble.
Yeah, same. It has a more emotional.
Plus, just from an Oscars point of view, like, which one do we want to hear performed at the ceremony? The one about this girl on a journey, or somebody rousing the oppressed into action? Which one's more that?
Yeah, this, I think also just Wicked in general hits different.
Yeah, it does.
Than it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's not just because we're older and wiser.
No.
It's because other things have.
It's because the world is terrible.
Yeah. I felt so uncomfortable during Wonderful. That is one change to music that I did like, that they had.
Yes, I did like that.
Glinda into Wonderful, because that really added to Elphaba being like, yeah, no, I get my best friend back kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped make that case. Whereas if it was just the wizard, she'd be like, who are you?
Yeah. And also, I love Jeff Goldblum, but he's not the strongest singer. So it helps having Grande there to, do some of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But yeah. We want to know, which song did you like the best? No Place Like Home or Girl in the Bubble? Did you not like any? Did you like both? Did it work with the movie for you? Did it not? Let us know. And have a wickedly good day.